Do you want to get really good at guitar? If you do, you are in the right place. A lot of people ask me, Rotem, how do you find your way on the guitar? How do you never get lost? How can you play scales, ideas, solos on the fretboard with knowing always where you are? Alright, if you want to do that, I'm going to show you right now. What we're going to do is we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to start in a place that is really simple in a way, but actually very deep. One coffee before we start. Alright, here we go. Ta-da! Whether you are a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player, this video is extremely important. The reason I'm saying that is we all have holes in our playing, and oftentimes these holes are actually holding us back from getting to this place of freedom that we all crave so badly. Toward the end of the video, there are extremely important points that if you do them, you will get extremely better very fast. Let's dive in. The first thing we want to really understand is how comfortable and in control we are in our position with the guitar. It seems very simple and basic, but actually it's very deep, because oftentimes we use different muscles and stress different points, if it's our face, our body, and these things can be really harmful later on. So we want to make sure we are very relaxed. We don't want to cause any pain, any tennis elbow. All these kind of things oftentimes happen due to excessive power. And in reality, this is the first step I want to really reinforce, is the pressure that we need to utilize in order to press this little piece of metal is very, very small. So I want us to take this finger, and take your index finger or the middle finger, I don't know how you call this finger, and basically try to see, just put it on the string and play. You can play with your thumb even, doesn't really matter, you can play it with a pick. And we'll talk about the pick very, very soon. Try to see what's the point that we transition between silence, no music, to music, right? So how much power? Almost a sound? Okay, a sound. Now, and oftentimes when we play chords, whether it's simple chords or more complex chords, we actually don't need to hold the chord all the time. So the pressure point and when and how we utilize it is very important. So what I'm suggesting here is really trying to be aware and trying to optimize the time and energy that we utilize in order to produce a sound. Question: what is your dream acoustic guitar? Please drop a comment. 2. This one is very important. How are we sitting? How are we holding the guitar? And how stressed are we with our hand? Just holding this hand. So check this out. I try to have a very loose hand, and I'll use my elbow to get more comfortable. Now, of course, if you just start playing guitar, it takes a little bit of time. That's very, very clear. But we need to keep these things in mind, because oftentimes, even for advanced players, there's too much power, there is not enough use of the thumb as a contra and not enough looseness. So just by being aware of these things, of these essential points, we can actually get better quickly. Scales. All right, I want to break this myth. So everybody thinks that if they know this position of C major scale, they're done. And a lot of us probably know 1 or 2 positions, maybe 5, maybe 7. But, and this is a huge point, do we really know it? Do we really hear it? One of the ways that I found the most helpful to actually internalize scales is playing them on one string. This is something I actually do daily as well. I'll take a key, for example, C. I know the notes are Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if you didn't, now you know. There is a sound, there is a color to that scale. And I can play it in different places, starting from the E string, literally. Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. what is interesting in this action is that I have to know what I'm doing, both theoretically, right? I know the notes that I'm playing, but also the sound. So there is a reinforcement of the color of the actual sound of C major scale, and I'll do the same thing with each of the strings. It could be very simple. You can say, let me just listen to the sound and play C major scale on the B string. If you want to try and jam with that C major scale on one string, there is a free jam track and this link. Check it out, just download and explore. Alright, I'm gonna believe you that you actually care a lot about guitar and music, but if you truly feel that way, I really ask you to take your time, because if you actually want to play music and get good at guitar, which I want to help you as much as I can, and I believe this is very, very possible, that's why I'm here. You need to take your time and see it as a marathon and not just trying to get everything you can and all the lines and licks this week. Because at the end of the day, it's very, very likely that you will play guitar, hopefully, for many years, whether it's 5, 10, 30, or 60 years. That's a long time, and that means that if you're choosing your actions correctly, that means practicing, really learning, you will get very far. And this is important because it's going to also reduce the amount of stress, which will help us learn. This is why I'm talking about it, because it took me a very long time to understand. And I was very stressed when I approached the instrument. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to just pick up the guitar and be happy and learn faster. Look, if we're just gonna play shapes all day, we're not gonna really learn guitar. What we wanna do is really internalize the information to a great deal. And the way to do it is finding your balance. What is challenging for you? You can't just play the same thing and call it a practice, because that's not really practicing. Practicing is actually working on something that is slightly hard, takes your focus and intention, and then in a period of a couple of days, a day, a week, you see you're starting to understand something and discover something that you didn't know. That's true practice. And this is a place where we want to go to. If you're still here, that really means you love music and guitar. And I want to leave you with one more thing that I find very important. One of the most crucial points when we're studying music and guitar specifically is having fun. As simple as it sounds, a lot of people don't really do that. And I want to encourage us all to not just play exercises. And again, I am a big fan of learning and understanding the framework and the exercises. So it could be C major scale indeed, but also I think we should mess around with C major scale and see what melodies we can find and what chords we can express with that framework of C major scale, right? And again, what I'm talking about right now is really a sort of a mentality that I want us all to embrace. So basically, make sure that you're picking the guitar up and just throwing your fingers in places and trying to see what sounds come out, and trying to ask yourself, do I like this sound? How do I feel about it? And what does it mean to me on an emotional level? Literally, you don't have to understand everything. It doesn't have to be all clear. I think that's a part of the magic. We want to understand as much as we can, but we want to discover these pockets of magic. I'll see you very soon. Peace.